ABC's Friday night comedy lineup won't be seen tonight, but it will return next week. Now stay tuned for the following special presentation.
Hello, divers. I'm Tom Feeney, writer for Wang's Chop Movie Magazine, your humble host and literally the only one involved in this thankless undertaking. If you are familiar at all with the Deep Dive podcast, you know two things. One, it is a rotating wheel of different casts covering different topics. Two, after 7 years of publishing this show, I still have no idea what the hell I'm doing. But I do it anyway. Why? Because I enjoy putting these shows together, and I paid for the equipment, so it seems a shame not to use it. Now, when the Deep Dive podcast began in 2018, the goal was to find interesting movies to watch on the ever-growing streaming media landscape. That landscape has changed considerably since then, and so has this podcast. It shifted from a co-hosted program to just myself, and from streaming media-focused topics to the rotating lineup that currently exists. But that original idea still has merit, I feel, and that's why I am adding a new cast to the Deep Dive podcast family. We All Die Streaming. This is a return to the original intent of this podcast, to find the most unusual, interesting, and just plain crazy offerings on streaming media services. Some will be free, some will be available for rental or purchase, and all will be carefully chosen by myself. That way, you know exactly who to blame. I hope this and future episodes will give you some entertaining, engaging, and surprising viewing options, or just some weird crap to distract you from the real world. In any event, let's get started. In the fall of 1986, several events of global importance took place. The so-called Iran-Contra affair exposed the U.S. Reagan administration's involvement in a secret arms deal. The World Health Organization announced the first global effort to combat the AIDS epidemic, and the stage musical The Phantom of the Opera premiered in London. And there was another premiere happening around the same time. A feature film was unceremoniously dumped into U.S. theaters by a small production studio that had little faith in the movie's success. The film's director had only one prior stint at the helm of a feature, a low-budget sequel called Piranha 2: The Spawning. Against all expectations, the film grossed over 10 times its original budget and became a modern science fiction classic. The director was James Cameron. The film, The Terminator.
The arrival. The target. The pursuit. The confrontation. The Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger is The Terminator. Rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
The Terminator was a big hit in theaters, and an even bigger hit on home video. It lifted actor Arnold Schwarzenegger to star status, and it proved to Hollywood that James Cameron was a force to be reckoned with. The Terminator has become a true franchise unto itself with, as of this recording, 5 theatrical sequels, a television series, as well as numerous video games, comic books, and even theme park attractions. It has also spawned, no piranha 2 pun intended, a staggering number of rip-offs, films that either borrowed themes from the Terminator or attempted to deceive potential viewers into thinking that they were actually connected to the original. Almost all these rip-offs were low or even micro-budget affairs used as filler on the shelves of mom-and-pop video rental stores during the late 80s through the 1990s. And now, These films are wafting through the miasma of streaming media, waiting like a denizen of the island of misfit toys, hoping against hope that someone will find them, watch them, and appreciate them for what they are. So let's do just that. Our first Terminator ripoff is a true feast for anyone who considers themselves a connoisseur of cinematic insanity. It ticks off all the boxes. It looks like it was made for around $25. It was filmed in Indonesia with a cast of non-actors, directed with enthusiastic incompetence, and edited with what I can only imagine was an immersion blender. It also happens to be one of my personal favorites. Friends, I proudly present to you Lady Terminator.
Sometimes the past should be left to memory, to gather dust within the covers of recorded time.
In 100 years, I'll have my revenge on your great-granddaughter.
Whoever finds the secret of the South Sea Queen will live in great danger of his soul.
Oh, yes, I will.
But how was she to know? Meet Tanya, an American anthropologist who travels to Indonesia in search of truth. What she finds is that the legend of the South Sea Queen is more than a story. It is her fate.
Oh, God, I need a woman!
A tale of possession, revenge, insatiable desire, and an evil that will not die.
Thank you.
That woman cannot die because she has the spirit of the South Sea Queen. So I knew the South Sea Queen has reincarnated. But don't worry, I'll protect you.
She is the South Sea Queen.
With a title that makes one think of a feminine shaving product, Lady Terminator literally has everything. Evil curses, demonic possession, reptiles that dwell within female private parts, mass shootings, and yes, even sexy times. The only thing it doesn't have is any relation to the Terminator at all. Now, if I didn't know better, I would think that some enterprising distributor had the idea to take an Indonesian action movie, retitle it, and release it to entice less than discriminating moviegoers. But that would be far too cynical. But it's even crazier, though, is that Lady Terminator actually got a theatrical release in 1988. It was only in a few theaters in New York and New Jersey, and most likely to qualify for Oscar consideration. Amazingly, the New York Daily News called Lady Terminator the, quote, best bad movie of the year. High praise indeed. The paper aptly described the film as a, quote, distaff Indonesian Terminator ripoff that also incorporates primal sexual myths and the off-the-wall Rambo antics into its buzzard plot. Couldn't have said it better myself. And if you are into that kind of thing, and by God, why wouldn't you be, Lady Terminator can be seen, thankfully, on YouTube for the low, low price of free. Highest recommendation possible. While I don't necessarily condone or endorse the use of any mind-altering substances ingested while watching Lady Terminator, well, you do you. Our next ripoff comes from the land of spaghetti westerns and sword and sandal movies, Italy. It came from director Bruno Mattei, a.k.a. Vincent Dawn, a.k.a. Pierre LeBlanc, a.k.a. Jordan B. Matthews, and at least 5 other fake names I have uncovered. Now, Mattei is infamous for having pumped out some pretty terrible movies during the 1980s through the 2000s. You may not remember him from such films as Hell of the Living Dead, Women's Prison Massacre, Scalps, Cruel Jaws, and my personal favorite, Robo-War. That one I'm saving for another show. He was also behind the camera for our next Terminator ripoff, 1989's Terminator 2. Yes, that's what I said.
They thought they were fighting only against aliens. sure that they had won their battle, but they were mistaken. Shocking dark.
Fuller. Fuck you!
A ferocious.
You bastard!
Indestructible. Ruthless Terminator. Shocking dark.
Now, if you were paying attention, the narrator gave the title as Shocking Dark. Yes, that was indeed one of the film's titles, along with Terminator 2. It was also titled, depending on where and when it was released, as Aliens 2, Alienators, and Contaminators. And after watching this gooey mess, you might think it should have been called Regurgitators. The movie is kind of what would happen if Terminator and Aliens had a baby and both films had been smoking and drinking during the pregnancy. Set in a near-future Venice that has been rendered uninhabitable by pollution, so that was actually prescient, the story follows a military team called the Megaforce, who are sent into the city's flooded underground tunnels to investigate the disappearance of scientists working for a powerful and corrupt corporation. The team discovers that the facility is overrun by grotesque mutant creatures created by failed genetic experiments. As the soldiers are picked off one by one, only a few survivors, including a scientist named Sarah and a child named Samantha, definitely not based on Ripley and Newt, who manage to escape. They soon encounter a ruthless corporate agent who turns out to be a killer cyborg, leading to a climactic showdown oddly reminiscent of the Terminator. Total coincidence, surely. Of course, the real Terminator 2 Judgment Day was released 2 years later in 1991. Terminator 2, aka Shocking Dark, was never released in the United States because, copyright. Not in theaters, not on VHS or Betamax, in America at least, and until as recently as 2018, never on disc. Now, there are tons of foreign and bootleg copies floating around, but nothing official happened until genre distributor Severin Films put out a Blu-ray edition, rescanned in 2K resolution with special features. Now, this film absolutely qualifies as a so bad it's good masterpiece of awfulness. It's some serious cheese, and as we all know, some of the best cheese comes from Italy. If you wish to experience Terminator 2 or Shocking Dark or whatever, you can find it under the latter title on the most awesome streaming service, Tubi, for free. It's also on YouTube. And if you're a subscriber to horror streaming services Shudder, Screambox, or Midnight Pulp, it is there as well. Our next Terminator ripoff has a few things going for it. It's kind of a perfect storm of 1990s era action cheese, and it's called Cybertracker.
We are here to discuss cybernetics, the wave of the future, the wave of justice.
In a world where laws are enforced by cyborg police officers.
I am Unit 7 of the Federal Division of Core Trackers. You are to be executed now.
Now, wait a minute.
Special Agent Eric Phillips is part of a dying breed.
News said you saved the senator's life today.
Yeah, I'm a real hero.
The terrorists are said to be members of a covert radical group who oppose computerized justice.
We don't know anything about this guy. Bringing him into the fold at this time is a big mistake.
When Phillips uncovers a plot to assassinate world leaders and replace them with cyborgs, he ends up fighting a system he swore to protect.
Hey, wait a minute!
No problem, Mr. Round's a traitor. Sending out a tracker as well.
What do you say we just call it a draw?
You are to be executed.
No, you are.
Cybercorp is working its way deeper and deeper into our government, and pretty soon they are going to be untouchable. Do you understand?
How do you stop a being whose sole purpose is to hunt and kill?
The core tracker is the perfect android, the perfect assassin.
Pity you weren't working for Cybercorp.
I'm gonna burn it down.
We're in a new generation. Generation of soulless zombies trained to obey. What more could a god want?
To truly understand how magnificent this direct-to-video masterpiece really is, we must get into some background. 1994's Cybertracker stars two actors who, while somewhat obscure in mainstream movie circles, are legends when it comes to 90s action B-movies. The first is lead Don the Dragon Wilson. A former world champion kickboxer turned actor, Wilson appeared in over 50 films and television series. Wilson is probably best known for starring in the prolific Blood Fist film franchise. What, you're not familiar? Well, I mean, you had, after the original Blood Fist, there was, let's see, Blood Fist 2, Blood Fist 3, Forced to Fight, Blood Fist 4, Die Trying, Blood Fist 5, Human Target, Blood Fist 6, Ground Zero, Blood Fist 7, Manhunt, and the final film, for now anyway, Blood Fist 8, Trained to Kill. Don the Dragon Wilson was in all of them. A true stalwart of the action genre, Wilson is still kicking, literally to this day, having last appeared in the 2024 action western Black Creek with fellow martial artists Cynthia Rothrock and Richard Norton. Who are they? Well, Cynthia Rothrock deserves her own episode, so we'll dive into that another time. Richard Norton, however, we will talk about him right now. Why? Because he also stars in our current pick, Cybertracker. Norton, like co-star Wilson, was a champion martial artist. Born in Australia in 1950, Norton began studying martial arts at the age of 11. In the 1970s, he became a highly sought-after bodyguard for a number of celebrities, including David Bowie, ABBA, and Fleetwood Mac. One of Norton's friends and fellow martial artists would set him on the path to becoming an actor. That friend was Chuck Norris. He made his first film appearance in the 1980 Chuck Norris movie The Octagon, where the two had a pretty memorable fight scene. Since then, Norton appeared in nearly 70 films, many of which were filmed in Hong Kong for the Chinese market, including a villainous turn in the 1997 Jackie Chan movie Mr. Nice Guy. He was actually one of the few outsiders who could keep up with Jackie and his Hong Kong stunt team. Norton continued acting and appeared in films like Mad Max Fury Road and its sequel Furiosa. Sadly, Richard Norton passed away earlier this year at the age of 75. Now let's get back to Cybertracker. With Norton and Don the Dragon Wilson, fans of the direct-to-video action genre knew they were going to get something that was, at the very least, pretty damn explosive. So, what is this movie about? And does it really matter? Okay. Let me put my trailer voice on.
In a near-future world where criminals are sentenced by a computerized justice system, robotic enforcers called Cybertrackers carry out executions without question. When police officer Eric Phillips discovers that the system is corrupt and being used to eliminate political enemies, he becomes a target himself. Forced to go on the run, Eric teams up with an underground resistance group to expose the conspiracy and destroy the unstoppable cyber tracker units hunting him. Whew, okay. Cybertracker clocks in at a very lean and efficient 90 minutes long. So, hey, it won't take up too much of your valuable time. But is it good? I mean, yeah, I think so. Your mileage may vary, but if you like listening to this podcast, you probably like it too. Now, you can see Cybertracker for free with ads on Tubi or rent it on Amazon Prime Video for the low, low price of $2.99. And when you're done, you can go ahead and watch the sequel. What? You didn't know there was a sequel? Oh, yes. Cybertracker 2 is an actual thing.
Its creators do not want you to know. They have achieved the next level. Cybertracker 2.
Look at my masterpiece. I can put any face on it I want.
Governor!
The governor is dead, as required by our contract.
It was a perfect duplicate of Kanye. Was perfect. You can assassinate any world leader, anywhere on the globe, at any time.
Jesus Christ, it's you, Eric. The inventor's program is genius. Police pursue the innocent. While they pursue profit.
Advanced cyber technology made us millionaires.
But their formula for success does not allow for error.
I've gotten rid of his kind before.
The replicated must be terminated.
You are to be executed now.
An army couldn't stop it.
We're not gonna be able to shake this thing.
You might kill a president, or a king, or a prime minister. He's gonna be famous.
But their immediate target fights back.
Trace our tap into the police cyber base.
There's evidence of our operation there.
I think I've got enough information.
He's too close.
Somebody's got to listen to him.
Witnesses are confirming.
The world believes only what it sees. Cybertracker 2.
Also with Don the Dragon Wilson, the sequel borrows even more from the first two Terminator movies, counting as yet another ripoff. Now, I'm not going to go into more detail here, except to say that it's a lot like the first one, and like all sequels, not as good. I can't believe I'm saying that about a movie called Cybertracker. Now, the sequel is also free on the Roku channel, and also for rent on Amazon Prime Video. Are we done? Oh, hell no. We'll do one more just for funsies. But before we get to that, however, here are some Terminator ripoff honorable mentions that didn't make it to this episode. From 1984, Ninja Terminator. From 1987, Soldier Terminator. From 1992, Angel Terminators. From 1993, Terminator Woman. And from 1996, Alien Terminator. You know, it seems like a missed opportunity to make a movie about a killer cyborg who retires from the job and becomes a pest control expert. The Exterminator. Yeah, okay. Anyway, our final ripoff is one that I had the misfortune to actually see in a genuine movie theater when it was released way back in 1991. It starred a well-known professional tap dancer and a Dutch-born actress who is appearing in her first English-language film. Already off to a great start. I give to you Eve of Destruction.
Dr. Eve Simmons has created a robot in her image.
This is Eve 8, also known as Eve Vickers. State of the art. For all intents and purposes, she is a human.
How do I look? She was programmed with much of my life experience, but we're not exactly alike.
I knew we were doing some robot research, but this thing...
She's a brilliant machine who's learning to be all woman.
I'd kill to have that jacket.
And now, she's on the loose.
Well, this is quite some toy you have yourselves here, gentlemen. I suppose you want me to put it back in its box.
It's not a toy, Colonel. She's poised.
I'm very sensitive.
Charming. A tease.
Why don't we just go take a room?
With a temper.
I'll call you sometime, okay?
And she's having a bad day.
Come on, get out of the way!
I'm very sensitive. She's activated.
What do you mean she's activated?
She's a state-of-the-art thermonuclear warhead.
A walking nuclear bomb.
And once you turn her on, you'll never turn her off.
If we don't find her in the next 24 hours, she'll explode with enough force to take out 20 to 30 city blocks.
Target is still at large.
Gregory Hines, Eve of Destruction. Not just another pretty face.
Please don't say this. I'm very sensitive.
So here we have Dr. Eve Simmons, a scientist who creates an advanced android duplicate of herself, nicknamed Eve 8. During a field trial, the robot malfunctions after a bank robbery interrupts a test exercise, causing her human memories and combat programming to collide catastrophically. Now unstable and essentially a walking nuclear weapon, the android escapes into the city. Dr. Simmons' team must team up with military specialist Colonel Jim McQuaid to track down her rogue counterpart before it unleashes an Eve of Destruction. Get it? Scientist is named Eve, and the robot is also named Eve, and these. Never mind. You get it. Both Eve Simmons and Eve 8 are portrayed by Renee Sutton-Jidke. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but probably not. She was a star in her native Netherlands and appeared in 2 Dutch films directed by Paul Verhoeven, who would later go on to helm blockbusters like RoboCop and Total Recall. We have a previous episode about Paul Verhoeven if you would like to look it up and check it out. The role of the military man tasked with finding and destroying Eve 8 was played by performer Gregory Hines. Hines' early claim to fame was being one of the world's most prominent performers and advocates for tap dancing. He began singing and dancing on the Broadway stage at the age of 8 and ultimately won a Tony Award as an adult many years later. On screen, Hines essentially stole the show away from Mel Brooks as the hilarious Josephus in History of the World Part 1.
The slave auction is over! All right, take all these rejects over the Coliseum, sell them for lion bait.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! What is this with lions? I can't go to the lions. I cannot go to the lions. Oh, no, because I happen to know that the lions only eat Christians. And I am a Jew. Jewish person. Yes, I can prove it. Watch this. Look at it. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Nishma. Everybody. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava. Hold it! Wait, listen, I'm Jewish, I'm telling you. Call the temple. Call the rabbi. Call the Samus Davis Jr. Call Samus. He'll vouch for me. He and I are tight. He knows.
Hines would continue acting in films throughout the 1980s, including memorable turns in The Cotton Club, White Nights with fellow dancer Mikhail Baryshnikov, and buddy cop movie Running Scared with co-star Billy Crystal. Now, in 1991, it was pretty unusual for an African-American actor to be the lead in an action movie. I mean, you had Eddie Murphy, but he was considered more of a comedy star even after the 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop movies. But it was even more unusual for the co-star to be someone American audiences had never seen before, and had a dual role no less. But as it turns out, Eve of Destruction did not need a walking nuclear bomb when it came to box office results. It bombed fine just on its own, not even grossing half of its budget. Not surprising, though. Is it a bad movie? No, not really. Is it good? No, it really isn't. Is it a so bad it's good movie? No, it's not that either. So what we have here is a middle-of-the-road, mid-budget, mediocre film. But hey, if you're a 90s sci-fi action cheese-loving completist, Eve of Destruction can be seen for free with ads on Tubi. Thanks for listening. If this is the first time you hearing the Deep Dive podcast, check out our past episodes available on almost all podcast providers and subscribe so you don't miss a single one. Also, we would love for you to send us ideas for future editions of We All Die Streaming. Send us your picks, your personal faves, and the most messed up movies you have ever seen. You can do all of those things at the Deep Dive Podcast at gmail.com. All clips used in this podcast are meant for educational purposes only and not to infringe on existing copyrights. We All Die Streaming is part of the Deep Dive Podcast family and a production of Automaton Studios.